The biggest sense of pressure that I feel is trying to do justice to the 364 games we have coming out on PlayStation platforms this year. And you're going to see a ton of live code. Thank you. As the only player with 3 successful platforms at once, we provide an entertainment experience second to none. Something for every taste, every budget, and every need. I know you're aware some of the industry's biggest titles are coming to PS3. Titles like Modern Warfare 2, Final Fantasy 13, Ratchet & Clank Future, A Crack in Time, Batman Arkham Asylum, Heavy Rain, Rock Band Beatles, and many more. PS2 remains the perfect family console with games for everyone. And this year, we're pleased to announce PlayStation 2 will feature nearly 100 new titles, including your favorite franchises. We grew the PS3 install base by 40% in 2008 and topped 22 million units sold globally. I suspect the reason that some of you have bags under your eyes is because you've been playing Infamous non-stop since it came out last week. With ratings at 90% or higher at places like IGN, Game Informer, GameSpot, and Game Trailers, Infamous has quickly become this summer's biggest blockbuster title, and it's only available on PlayStation 3.
Naughty Dog has had a 15-year tradition of pushing the PlayStation hardware to its limits, and we feel that Uncharted 2 sets the new gold standard in limit pushing, and it is easily our most ambitious project to date. So today, you'll see what is not only one of the best technical showcases on any platform, but an active cinematic experience like no other game out there. So I'd rather show you than tell you, so let's cut to the chase. Here is Uncharted 2, Among Thieves.
Okay, this way.
What do you reckon? We're gonna have to climb that thing?
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Come on, Nate, let's get moving! Damn it. How the hell do we get across?
Looks like we're gonna have to shimmy across that beam.
Oh God, be careful.
Holy shit.
Here, I've got you. Give me your hand.
Just go! Right behind you, go!
Never better. Damn it! Take him out! You're dead! This is over!
was in that.
That game is MAG, a new first-person shooter that pits 256 players against each other on the field of battle. Well, here we are. It's a year later, and I'm pleased to be here again, this time with 8 other members of the Zipper team. Not just to talk about MAG, but to show you a live 256-player MAG battle. So now, before we start, I want to remind you that every action you're about to see or hear, from the distant chatter of a machine gun being fired by a developer in Seattle, to an airstrike called in by a tester in San Diego, has been triggered by a real player. Now, the battle you're about to watch is a Raven assault on a Sever fuel depot. CJ Heine, MAG's lead level designer, is acting as our squad leader today. Now, if we take a look at CJ's command network interface, you can get a feel of the scale of this battle. CJ's squad of 8, along with other 3 squads in his platoon, must punch through a line of enemy bunkers, secure a forward landing zone, and push forward to the heart of the enemy facility. Now, if we pull back just a bit, you can see that his squad isn't alone. His platoon is one of 4 that make up the Raven company assaulting this base. Now, each blue dot you see is a live player participating in the battle right now. But remember that for each blue dot you see, there's also a red enemy, most of whom are currently undetected. So to start his assault, CJ is going to use one of his squad leader command abilities to call in a recon UAV to scout out those enemy locations. Now, unfortunately, the enemy has an anti-aircraft battery that's up and running, and it's going to shoot down his airstrike as it comes in. So he's going to have to go in with a little bit less information than he hoped and go from there. So these are all the squad members we see on screen that are up here on the stage today. They're going to move out. Siege is going to assign the first objective to his team, which is to assault a bunker. This bunker serves as a forward spawn for the enemy, so if they can destroy it, they'll manage to push the defenders back farther into the heart of the base. There's the bunker in front of us. Now, as we assault, we're going to switch over and take a look at the platoon leader perspective for Ben Jones. Now, these bunkers are very challenging targets. They have to go in, plant a charge at the base of it. They can attack the turret on top from distance, but if they have to get in close to plant the charge and defend that charge for a period of time while the defenders try to defuse it. There you can see now, as the actions he's taking, because this objective has been assigned to the squad, he's going to get bonus points for every action he takes. So now that they've managed to destroy that bunker, it's going to push all the defenders back farther into the heart of the base. His team's going to move up, plant charges once again on that anti-aircraft battery that was causing him so much trouble earlier, and defend that. Now, taking care of this will do a couple of things, give a couple of advantages to his team. First and foremost, it will allow the commanders to call in airstrikes as they battle, but it's also going to secure this as a forward spawn point for his team, which we'll see in a moment here. You can hear that air raid siren, lets everybody in the battle, no matter which platoon they're in, know that the attackers in this area have secured that forward spawn. And now we have helicopters coming in, which serve as the forward deployment point for his team. So if anybody in his squad dies from this point forward, they will respawn those helicopters and be able to push forward. And they're also very powerful at securing this landing zone. They're all equipped with miniguns, once again, all commanded by real players. So now that they've managed to secure this forward landing zone, CJ is going to use another one of his command abilities. He tried to call on a UAV earlier, but now he's going to use an airstrike. He's going to call on a cluster bomb to clear the enemy off this wall and secure the point so his team can push forward and hit the heart of this facility. So obviously, devastating strike. It's cleared the enemy off this position. Now his team has a few moments before the enemies respawn, secure that wall again. So they're going to push in and set a foothold to push into the heart of the base where they'll link up with all 4 platoons for the final assault on this objective. Now, I do hope you all were taking notes because we're going to have this game running live on the show floor for the next 3 days with full 256 players. Come down there, pick up a control, and join the battle. I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
PlayStation Portable features blockbuster titles like Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron, Madden NFL 09, and of course, God of War Chains of Olympus. We're working with Disney to launch a Hannah Montana bundle, compete with a lilac-colored PSP this July. Just sold a few right there, that's awesome.
So it's my pleasure today to officially introduce the next step in the evolution of the PlayStation Portable. For those who live a more digital lifestyle, who are downloading content across the network, who no longer need or desire tangible media like UMDs, CDs, or DVDs in their homes or backpacks or in their briefcases. And I have it right here in my pocket. Here it is.
I am very honored here today to be given this opportunity to announce Gran Turismo PSP that I know everyone has been waiting for so long.
ですね、今ここで実際にグランツーリスモ PSP が、動いています。
As you can see here, Gran Turismo is running on the small PSP Go.
小さな小さな、PSP Go ですが、中に入っているグランツーリスモは、フルスケールのものです。
The PSP Go is a very, very small piece of hardware, but what the Gran Turismo that's running inside it is a full-scale Gran Turismo.
60フレームパーセカンドで動いてますね。
It's running at 60 frames per second. And finally, I'd like you all to take a look at a video we've prepared for Gran Turismo PSP to show everyone. And thank you all for your time today.
Quality and authenticity means everything in this industry, especially when it's coming from the Metal Gear Solid family. Yeah. And when it comes to Metal Gear Solid, there is no substitute to the incomparable Hideo Kojima. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hideo Kojima.
PSP Go が、発表されて非常にますます熱い PSP ですけども
I think after the presentation of PSP Go, I think the PSP is getting really hotter.
その PSP で、メタルギアソリッド、スネークが帰ってきます
And Snake is coming back on that PSP.
メタルギアソリッドピースウォーカーです
The title is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
ピースウォーカーは、ネイキッドスネークが主人公で、メタルギアソリッド3の10年後、1970年代を舞台にした物語になっています。
The PSP Peace Walker, the setting is 10 years after Metal Gear Solid 3. It's in 1970s.
なので、正統派の続編になります。
So I can say this is the true sequel of the Metal Gear franchise.
で僕がゲームデザインをして演出をしてプロデュースも兼ねてますでチームはメタルギアソリッドの方のメイン主力メンバーと作ってますので、外伝とかスピンアウトではなくて、本格的な、続編というか、正統派の続編になります。
Let me emphasize the fact that I'll be deeply involved in this title by writing the script and also producing at the same time. I'll be very, very deeply involved, not to mention that the main team of MGS4 will participate in this team in creating this title. So it's not a spin-off or it's not a side story.
本格的なメタルギアソリッドなんですけども、PSP なので PSP ならではの、 携帯機としてのギミックとかシステムとかを新しく加えた、これまでにもない、本格的なメタルギアソリッドということになります。
And since it's on the PSP, I will not forget to add all the features and the specs that the PSP offers. So it'll be a true Metal Gear franchise sequel, but also add the PSP elements.
今日はメタルギア、ソリッドピースウォーカーの、トレーラーを持ってきました。
I brought with me today, a trailer that I want you to see of the Peace Walker.
それではご覧ください。Please enjoy the new trailer, Peace Walker. Thank you very much.
Nuclear deterrence by means of mutually assured destruction. It was an era of transient peace backed by massive military budgets. Both the United States and the Soviet Union plunged into economic turmoil, ushering in an era desperate for a new world order. In the wake of the Cuban Missile Crisis, Latin America became a pivotal key to maintaining the power balance between East and West. Yet in the midst of this struggle, one government remained without a military. In 1974, as if taking advantage of the nation's lack of deterrence, an unknown power initiated weapons deployment in the region. Their identity and true motives remain unknown. Now, to preserve peace in Costa Rica, a nation without a military, the people must turn to an army without a government. Those who would give rise to outer heaven. Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker. They believed they were creating a paradise. Where does deterrence end and true peace begin?
PlayStation. Ever since Resident Evil first brought gamers to the fictional town of Raccoon City back in 1996, this series has gone on to achieve monumental success on PlayStation platforms. The Resident Evil series has sold over 40 million units worldwide since its debut on PlayStation in 1996. This is a franchise that has generated strong demand from PSP owners around the world. I'm pleased to announce that Resident Evil will be coming to PSP next year in a whole new game designed specifically for the PSP platform. We're very proud to welcome Resident Evil to PSP for the first time. Now, there are many other big-name titles coming to PSP this holiday season, including Little Big Planet, SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 3, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, MotorStorm Arctic Edge, Hannah Montana, and Harry Potter, to name a few. Yeah, I knew I'd get you with that one. I'd like to roll a quick video to show some of the biggest titles in the industry coming to PlayStation Portable in 2009.
Comic book tough guy.
With PlayStation Network, you get tons of additional content, connectivity, and community interaction with no hidden fees. In addition, we're adding nearly 50 PS1 classics to the PlayStation Store starting this year, and starting today with the launch of Final Fantasy VII. We've always believed by offering free access to online gameplay, we could aggregate a huge audience quickly, and that's exactly what we're doing. As you all know, Home is an ever-evolving 3D social network that represents the PlayStation community. Built for PS3 users to meet, chat, share, and launch into gaming experiences together. With more than 6.5 million people worldwide, home has quickly become the de facto standard for the world's console gaming community, and it's only available and only possible on the PlayStation 3. Here's a quick video to show you how far the platform has come since we launched it 6 short months ago. So we're going to roll a video that shows off a sample of what's on tap for PlayStation 3.
I'm sorry, do you have a plan to go along with that grenade?
Yes, I do.
Hold on a second.
I give you wonders of plenty and sights unlike any.
You must be Genshin.
The bloodline of the Dragon Ninja ends here.
It's not just me. It is getting hot in here.
I want to play a game.
Let's see how you nitty-livered loungers stand up to a guardian.
proud of the fact that over the past 15 years, the greatest franchises in the industry have been synonymous with PlayStation platforms. For more than a decade, Rockstar Games have been delivering unrivaled interactive experiences to fans all over the world. Grand Theft Auto, Bully, Midnight Club, and Manhunt all began on PlayStation. Today, we'd like to announce a new property coming from Rockstar North. It's called Agent, and it will be exclusive to PlayStation 3. Agent will take a player across the globe amidst the shadowy world of espionage and assassins in the darkest hours of the late 1970s. It's clear that Rockstar recognizes PlayStation as an ideal place to build an audience, and that's why we're thrilled to have Agent coming exclusively to PlayStation. You're all aware of the impact GTA had on our platforms, and we expect Agent to have the same must-have value.
I am very happy and excited to be here to present you Assassin's Creed 2. The original vision of the Assassin's Creed universe needed a sequel, and here it is. The general direction I gave to the team for AC2 was quite simple: diversity. Give players more options in all aspects of the game. This demo will give you a glimpse of what to expect. Sébastien? AC2 starts right where AC1 ended, with Desmond Miles using the Animus machine to relive an ancestor's life. But this time, you will experience a different time period, the Italian Renaissance.
Ezio, Leonardo says that the machine is ready. It's at the top of the tower. It's you!
Meet Desmond's new ancestor, Ezio Auditore da Firenze. The Italian Renaissance gave us the perfect setting to exploit what was so great in AC1. Believable crowds, dangerous times, and beautiful open cities. All that during a pivotal moment in history, the birth of the modern world. Ezio's story is about a young Florentine noble on a quest for vengeance. It's about someone who had to deal with a great loss. To help character progression, we've constructed our game, around someone who isn't an assassin at first, but who will learn to become one with the help of some friends. Leonardo da Vinci is one of those friends. Ezio will use him as his own personal inventor. Leonardo will make him weapon upgrades, gadgets, and machine, like we have here, his famous flying machine. The flying machine is a good example of the diversity of experience found in AC2. The fire that you see around Venice gives speed and altitude to the glider. And Ezio can even take some enemies down his path. The target Ezio is after is hidden inside the Palazzo Ducale that you see right here. And the only way to get to him is from the sky.
That thing! Stop!
Il diavolo! Il diavolo è venuto a portarci via!
Coward. The devil's not the one you need to fear. Tell him hello for me.
I know you're here! Assassin! Show yourself! Or are you afraid?
We work hard also on giving more assassination techniques to Ezio, making him even deadlier than his Crusades counterpart, Altair. Good use of the double hidden blade here, Sébastien. Here we have an example of our new AI archetype, the Seeker. Hiding spots are not so safe anymore.
There he is! Portatemi la sua testa!
We wanted Ezio to be an assassin before being a warrior, which is why he is so good with his bare hands. He lets them disarm his enemies and use their weapons against them. There will be over 30 different weapons in the final game, not to mention the 6 additional unique weapons you will be able to unlock if you play Assassin's Creed Bloodlines on the PSP and connect it to your PS3. Ezio's target, Carlo Grimaldi.
You really are the devil. Wait! I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. I'll give you anything you want. Name your...
I make this sacrifice for the greater good. Requiescat in pace.
So you're surrounded. Let's use a smoke bomb. Just another example of the diversity of tools you will have at your disposal. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm proud to introduce and show the first footage anywhere of Final Fantasy XIV. And PlayStation 3 will be the only console you'll be able to play Final Fantasy XIV on when it launches in 2010. Motion-controlled gaming has been a phenomenon that's been attracting a great deal of consumers the last few years. And we know a little something about this space as we introduced the first true motion controller back on the PlayStation 2 with iToy. Shortly after the launch of PS3, we introduced the next-generation camera that was designed for both gaming and video conferencing via PlayStation Network. This technology will continue to grow in many ways. We're working to create an experience that is much closer to real life than anything you've ever seen.
We've been hard at work on this interface technology for a few years, and our goal is to add to the PS3's interactive capabilities. We want to enable a completely new set of experiences for PlayStation 3. So, what I have in my hand here is a prototype of a new controller. Its final look will change, so I want to stress this is an engineering prototype. But its most distinctive and cool feature is the glowing sphere on the end that the PlayStation Eye can track. Imagine you're playing an RPG game, you choose Fireball spell, the color in your hand changes, and then you throw to cast your spell. But rather than listening to me just talk about it, let's get started showing you some tech demos of what this thing can do. We're not going to show any video at all. Everything you're going to see is live technology demonstration. Anton's going to demo, and I'm going to explain what's happening on screen. So actually, I want to point out, on the sides up here, you can see video from different angles of Anton as he plays. So this first demo, what we have is like a virtual television set with a PlayStation Eye just like we have it set up here on stage. So you can see when Anton moves the controller here, the controller moves one-to-one just as he moves. In order to let you see this better, Anton, if you can turn on the video on the television there, we're putting the PlayStation Eyes video on this virtual TV. So you can see as Anton moves, it moves exactly as he moves. This is true one-to-one tracking. This is the first time you've ever been able to do this. And we can show this better than anyone else because we have the video from the PlayStation Eye. That racket is actually in the virtual world. It's in Anton's hand.
It's still hard.
So, of course...
No way.
So sports are kind of a no-brainer, but you could hold anything in your hand. I do want to point out, notice how fast it's tracking his motions.
All right, let's try this. Yes.
Weapons are always good.
Especially large ones.
So my son loves this demo, actually. You can imagine if he could be Ratchet and he could hold Ratchet's weapons in his hand while he plays. He would die for that. Okay, we have a flashlight now. Notice we have true 3D pointing. He can move around and point from any position or angle here. Okay, the flashlight's pretty cool, but do you have anything with a little more firepower, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
A foam dart. Nice shot, though.
All right,
more firepower. Now we're talking. Gold Desert Eagle. So, of course, the PlayStation, this new controller and motion control in general, people have thought are more of a casual experience. And we expect very great casual experiences. But we also want to enable some more gamers games. We think that'll be a great use of this controller, too. So if you want to switch to first-person shooter mode, Anton can actually move around the room and point and shoot things.
My hands weren't so jittery I could actually hit something.
We learned from iToy that buttons are needed for some experiences. There's some experiences you can do without them, but some experiences there's just no other way to do.
There's really no other way to do this without a trigger. It just wouldn't feel right.
Okay, so let's see anything else?
I think we got one more thing. This is always difficult. Oh, yeah.
So you can imagine the kind of special effects we could overlay with the video and the graphics here. Now, we're going to switch gears completely here. This next demo, it may look simple, but it's one of the hardest things to do precisely. Anton is effectively reaching into the scene, bridging the gap between the real and virtual worlds. This is the foundation for the ultimate sandbox. You could build anything in this. The game development is really excited about this because the possibilities are limitless here. Another thing that's really difficult to do in a virtual world is drawing. And in particular, writing requires extreme precision. The tip of that pencil Anton's using is being tracked at sub-millimeter accuracy. So the pencil shows off the precision really well, but for something a little more artistic, Anton's going to move on to some more paintbrushes here. He's actually metering out the amount of paint that's being put on the canvas using the analog trigger right now. Nice. For something like a spray paint can, the angle actually matters of what he's doing here. Ooh, dripping right down the wall there, nice. Yeah.
Of course, if you just want to mess around,
You can do that too. So drawing is a kind of fundamental capability, but it doesn't have to be used literally.
Let's see what else we got.
You could use it instead, say, to lay out a path of objects.
I'll help it out. You know, we could always try again.
Better. Other things that use drawing are selection. Selection is one of the keys to something like a real-time strategy game. Finally, we have an interface on a console that lets us do real-time strategy. Here you can see Anton's lassoing troops, and then he draws a path for them to follow. You can imagine using this for other kinds of games, like football. You could draw out the route for a wide receiver to follow. Blurring the lines between RTS and first-person shooter here. We already showed first-person shooter once, Anton.
Well, it's always good.
All right. Anton's going to set up the next demo, and we're going to shift gears here a little bit. We're going to step out of our room here and move into a virtual arena. We're going to show you some character control, actually.
So as you can see here, my motions are mapped directly onto the character. When I move my sword and shield, he moves them exactly as I do. Hey, everybody. Of course, this is no good if you can't hit anything.
So we've all seen lots of demos with swords and shields before, but the kind of precision Anton's getting here with the tip of that sword is just crazy.
Tickle, tickle, tickle. Of course, we can do all the standard moves. We can thrust high, low, sweep, hit high. And this is one of my favorites.
How many years of kendo was that? You can also use it in a defensive posture, too. Now this is a little bit different. Now we've shown you, you can see one-to-one Anton's hands moving, and the virtual hands move exactly as he does. You can point and throw, no problem. You could reach around an enemy that's coming at you. He's doing behind the back. You can really do anything you want with this.
Let's see here.
Ooh. Now we're going to finish off with everyone's favorite in our lab's interface here, the archery mechanic. He reaches behind his back, pulls out an arrow, and knocks it.
Of course, the tension on the string matters, so the farther I pull it back, the more power I'm going to launch into this guy. All right, Rick, call the shot.
The farthest guy on the right there. Gangster style, yeah.
Oof.
Steady.
Let me see if I can.
Oh. Nice.
Let's go for something a little more dramatic. There we go.
All right, last shot, last shot.
All right.
If you can't see here, Anton's actually dropping down to one knee, Robin Hood style, to finish this last shot. Ooh. Camera has no problems tracking him when he does that. All right. Well, I hope these real-time tech demos sparked your imagination. It certainly sparked the imagination of our development community.
So today, we're proud to introduce to you Mod Nation Racers. It's a thoroughly modern take on classic kart racing. It's made only possible on a console as powerful and versatile as the PlayStation 3. Before we get to some racing, let's meet the racers of Mod Nation. I'm sure you've all seen these urban vinyl collectibles and designer toys made by companies like Tokidoki and Kid Robot and others. And what I think is really cool about them is artists you've never heard of before are expressing themselves in unlimited styles and becoming superstar designers in the process. So what we do in Mod Nation Racers is we empower you to express yourselves and to become superstar designers yourselves. So I created this character. His name is Monkey Butler. I've always wanted to have a Monkey Butler. I think he's pretty cool. So I've saved him, I've uploaded him. All of you can download Monkey Butler and rate him. How'd you rate him, James?
Not too high, Will, not too high. I don't know what's with you and this monkey guy. I think I got another outfit for him here, though. I think that's a little better.
That's cruel. So what kind of mod would you want to be, smart guy?
Let's take a look. Let's see what we got. This guy's pretty cool. I don't know, though. He's not for me, though. I think I'm going to go with this guy. Yeah.
Okay, he's pretty cool, but you're going to put him in my pink dune buggy, which I think's all right. You know, pink is the new brown. You got to like it.
This guy needs a real race car, man. I'm sure we've got something better for him in here. Still a little pink, I think. Maybe we'll go with this guy.
All right, that's a nice ride, James. I respect that. So while you're preparing for your race, I'm just going to tell everyone here that these are just a few of the unlimited number of combinations that you can make in the game yourself. You can create, you can share, and remix them. So here we are in the game. Let's have some fun. Let's hit the track. When we set out to make Mod Nation Racers, we wanted to make the most gorgeous, most physical, most interactive kart racing game you've ever seen. It starts with the graphics. We're harnessing the full power of the PS3. The results speak for themselves. We're also using real-time physics everywhere. The kart handling just comes alive. Surface changes like this old rickety bridge just feel right. And kicking your kart into drifts just feels sweet. All without sacrificing pick-up and play control. We've got some weapons here. We've got a full arsenal of weapons that we're introducing, some with familiar play mechanics, others from our secret labs that we're developing. Up ahead here, take them out. Up ahead here, we're going to see some of the more physical and interactive elements, such as this launcher. We've also got a stomper. We've got a, we call it the Devastator. Takes out opponents. You feel the ripple. You feel them being taken out. This one you can activate remotely. And, learn to drive, Coder Boy. Sorry, better luck next time. So that's a bit of the racing in Mod Nation Racers. This track was made using a tool we call Track Studio. We wanted to empower racers like you to become creators yourselves. It's ridiculously easy to use. So we're going to show you how it works. We're going to blow away that track, which was made in Track Studio. We're going to start a brand new track. And we're going to try to do this in record time in under 5 minutes. Are you up for it?
See how we go. We'll see how we go.
So the reason why it's ridiculously easy to use is because we let you create by playing. And James is going to tell you what he's doing here.
Like Will said, this is super easy. We're just using regular driving controls here. We've got elevation on the right stick so we can make some hills. And it's smart enough that if we cross over the track, it's gonna put in a little overpass or something for us. So we're going to keep this track pretty short, I think. Just make a little straight here. And then we'll bring it back to the finish line. We just have to drive back through the finish gate to close this off.
All right, bring it home, James. So as he closes the loop, what's happened here is in seconds, he's actually made a brand new functional racetrack. And as he enters test drive mode, we spawn AI opponents and he's racing and he's finding out how fun his track is right away. How's it feeling?
Feels pretty good, I think. Feels pretty good. We better dress it up though.
All right. So I kind of like off-roading. Can we add some dirt roads to our track?
I think so. We've got something here for you. So we'll just select dirt from our palette here. And this is as simple as just dragging it out over the track. We can change the surface type. So that's pretty easy.
All right. Now we got to put in a background. Why don't we start with some mountains? Can you make some really big mountains?
I think we can do that.
I'm a fan of big mountains.
I think we got something here for you. We'll just make this brush a little bigger for you and just start pulling away here. This is really satisfying.
Bigger. I love big mountains. They
Bigger is always better.
remind me of our home in Vancouver, British Columbia. They're beautiful mountains there.
Nice.
So I think we need to add some water.
I think we can do that as well. We just turn the brush around and we'll just drag this out through here. And then we've got a lake for these guys. I think one last thing we're going to need to do here, though, is we're going to have to even out this hill here. So just make the brush a little smaller. And once again, we can just drag this around and we'll bring up another hill. And we're all good. That's looking pretty good. One last thing while we're here. We'll go to our surface brushes. We've got a ton of surfaces to choose from. We're just going to go with some dirt around here today, and we can just spray this down like this. Nice and easy.
All right. I think it's time to add some green. Can you make a forest?
I think we got something here. Let's see. We'll go to our props. We'll just bring the cursor back through here. I think a couple of trees around this corner is probably going to look pretty good. Ooh. So we'll just start around here, and we'll just start laying these guys down. Once again, this is nice and easy. Just drag it out around the road. We can speed it up. Come back into the middle here, and we'll just fill out the center here, and I think we're good. Nice.
So that looks nice. But where do the Mod Nation Racers live? I think we need to build a village for them.
Yeah, I think we got one of them in here. So this is in our palette. It's our village brush. Once more, we can just drag this thing around the side of the track and just start laying these down. We'll speed it up again. That's pretty satisfying. So now we're just going to fill in the middle of the track as well, I think. There we go.
That's
I
awesome.
think that's probably pretty
Now,
good.
you know me, I'm kind of a reckless driver, so we need some objects I can smack through and maybe some weapons that I can pick up.
I think we've got something here. We'll go with some safety cones around the inside here. That should make it nice and fun. And then I think we'll do a couple of weapons on the dirt section. So we'll just come back through to here, select our weapon pickup, place a couple of these down, and I'm going to drop in a little extra for myself just in case I get in trouble in this race.
Cool. All right, I think we have to hurry up. Time's ticking.
One more thing.
Okay.
Got to drop in
What
some
are
of
you
these
doing,
little guys. I love these little guys.
James. You have to forgive
I'm
my
done
friend,
now.
he's
I'm
from
done.
Australia, so we'll indulge him. Yeah, I like mountains, he likes sheep. Okay, finishing touches.
Okay.
Bring it home.
I think we're going to raise the water here. That lake's pretty cool, but I think it could be a bit higher. So we'll just, whoa, that's a little too high. We'll drop that down a bit. That's about right, I think. Last thing we're going to do here is we're going to put in a bit of a sunset. It's always nice. So we'll bring the sun around to this side, I think. Just drop down a little so we can see it. Bring it down in the sky. That's probably a little too low, but we'll bring that up about there. I think that's going to be good for us.
Awesome. So why don't you go into test run mode and see how it is. What's just happened, folks, is James has created an original track from scratch. It's fully populated, fully lit, it's fully playable within seconds. And now we're going to have some fun here. He can continue tweaking his track using a whole host of tools. He can save it to the PS3 hard drive. He can upload it. Other people can play it online. He can even download it and remix it.
Oh, these guys are tough. I'm going to have to take them
I
out.
think you built a pretty tough track. You have to strike back with your secret weapon. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome demo, James. That was incredible.
Now it's my pleasure to give you a sneak peek at another upcoming title being developed exclusively for PlayStation 3. It comes from the wildly creative minds of Fumito Ueda, whose previous games, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, have as much heart and soul to them as they do action and adventure. Here's a new glimpse at Ueda-san's next masterpiece, the third title in the trilogy, known as The Last Guardian.
PlayStation.
Now, 15 years ago, I don't think anyone could have dreamed how this next game would drive PlayStation sales into the stratosphere. Ladies and gentlemen, please feast your eyes on a short tease of Polyphony Digital's Gran Turismo 5. This is one of the most eagerly anticipated games of this generation. I'd like to invite Stig Asmussen to the stage to show you the first few minutes of the jaw-dropping God of War 3.
God of War 3 is the final chapter in our fantasy trilogy, based on the dark side of Greek mythology. We will see how the story of the gods, titans, and Kratos ends. Kratos' sole purpose is to exact revenge on Zeus and all of Olympus, and he will do so in the most brutal fashion. I think this demo does a fantastic job of describing the energy and spirit of this brutal nature. Now our design director, Todd Pappy, will take point on the controls, and we'll get into our demo.
Feel the wrath of the sun!
We're actually cutting the presentation here. I think it's best that everybody gets their hands on it.
So keep in mind, when you're playing God of War 3, this is an experience that's not just exclusive to PS3, it's only possible on PS3. With everything you've seen here today, I hope you'll agree this is going to be one of the biggest years in PlayStation history. Other companies ask you to imagine the future of gaming, and it's been our pleasure today to show you the future of gaming.